So, new stuff to the game since when we started. Here's like the quick and dirty recap. If you're brand new to the game, here's some tips that might be helpful for people if you're watching this later. Um, if you are just downloading the game again for the second time, making a second account to kind of see how things are different, they've done this whole new, instead of going back and changing any of the missions and updating the rewards and things like that, instead what they did was they created this little 7-day launch event. Um, Boldly Go. Currently, it's a 5-day event here. Every little milestone you hit, you get like 10 points for, and as you complete and check off some of these boxes, you get a whole lot more additional points. Bearbutt, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime for 13 months. Awesome. These additional milestones here give you officer rewards, parts, resources and materials, plenty of upgrade stuff to really accelerate your early gameplay, help you move quickly through those early levels where not a lot's happening in the game anymore. Kind of also motivate you to stick with the game, kind of get you going, get you playing a lot, because a lot of the early missions really just drag on. They're really weak, they have really low rewards, they don't do anything to sort of upgrade, and you kind of get stuck behind a lot of cooldowns, and you're waiting, 4 hours, 5 hours for some of these building upgrades and stuff. Well, this is giving you some of the ways to speed that up with Latinum or just other material speed ups. It's also giving you access to additional officer sourcing. And as you complete these milestones up top, like everyone, like I said, is worth 10 points, you get to the end, well, you get enough to unlock TOS Spock, which is cool. In addition to this, which gives you Spock, you've got other ways to source epic officers. Get them right out of the gate. So, of course, you've got your battle simulator. Space Dad, thank you very much for the follow. The battle simulator, if you finish this, it gives you enough shards along the way to unlock Epic Kirk. There's your first epic officer and the easiest one to complete and to accomplish, gain access to. Then you come over here to these other events that they're going on. So this is like the Starfleet Academy series kind of sequence of events here. You've got these new Commander Academy, and you've got these different challenges. So you'll have like a day or two to complete X number of tasks. When you complete the first challenge, it unlocks the second challenge. When you complete the second challenge, it unlocks the final challenge. And they all have just, a variety of events in them. Some of them are going to systems and completing missions. Some of them are like getting ops to a certain level, get to ops 5, get to ops 10. Go to this system, defeat this hostile. Which... Oh, because I died. I was going to say, why didn't that trigger for the last one I was just in? Because I actually didn't kill it. Do some missions, mine resources, get to 15. Each of these milestones in this particular one give you Gorkon shards. And throughout this series, when you finish it and complete it all, you will have enough to unlock Epic Gorkon. There's also yet another event going on, which comes from your daily login chests. Normally when you go over here and you click your little buttons and you claim your 10-day, your 10-minute chest or your 4-hour chest to get your pittance of resources, there is also a daily login chest for the first 7 days, which you can't see right now because I already claimed it this morning. That gives you Nero shards. And if you do that for all 7 days, you unlock Nero. So at the end of the first week, you can have Kirk, Nero, and Gorkon all unlocked, who are the epic officers who all trigger very key stats, hull breach, burning, morale, that a lot of your other ships or other officers' abilities will then trigger on, and typically have taken a longer time to source. You also have the field training mechanic. Faye's coming in. Thank you very much. 17 months now. Appreciate that. That's also kicked off a hype train. Look at us go on a Sunday morning. You also have the field training mechanic in here going on. A lot of these very easy to complete field trainings. Level up, kill hostiles, mine stuff, open chests, things like that. Complete the battle simulator. All of these level up officers. And in your field trainings up here, you are getting additional shards for Pike and Moreau. If you complete all of the field trainings, you will unlock Moreau and get extra shards for her. More than that to get you on your way towards tearing her up. And you should get half of Pike unlocked, which should also greatly speed up your access to getting that Pike Moreau Chen, Pike Moreau Talon combo working a lot earlier in the game, which again will allow you to advance a lot more quickly through these early levels and not get stuck. And then you can get into the 20s faster realistically, where a lot more of the content starts to open up for you. So kudos to Scopely for putting these types of programs in to help give new players a shove. I'm sure some of us would have preferred to see them actually just change some of the old missions instead of adding new mechanics. But I know there's always a thing with them with they can't just change old stuff because the way the game is designed a lot of times, they can only add a new thing that then modifies the old thing. They can't just, yeah, do it that way. It's weird. I don't know why. Griff, thank you for the 100 bits. I don't know who programmed what the way that they did, but this has been their solution to a lot of things going forward. Maybe if I ever get to talk to game design, I can ask them that question. But at least there is an opportunity now. And with a couple of codes, obviously the Galaxy code that's out right now gives you like an avatar. The Commander code is how I got Spock, Ethan Peck Spock, as an avatar. It also gave a little bit of resources, but there's another code, Boost, Boost, that gives you a tremendous amount of resources to start. I think it gave me like 500 or 1,000 Latinum, plus like 100,000 par steel and like 100,000 or 50,000 tritanium or something like that. So it really gave me, again, a big head start in terms of pushing through a lot of this early content. So if you do decide to join the game and start playing it, or you've just started playing it and have found this video online, or you're starting over and starting a secondary account just to see what's new, that's kind of what you've got to look forward to. And that's how you can kind of get yourself off and running. And then that'll give you the access and the freedom to be able to look at some of these missions that are in the game here and just ignore them. I see people in chat that are talking about, oh, I got to do this mission. I got to go mine 500 to this or 1,000 of this. And it's like, no, you really don't, because some of these rewards are just not good. 2,500 par steel and one recruit token, recruit pack, isn't all that good, that you don't need to waste your time chasing down some of these missions. The only missions you need to complete are the ones with the gold border, and those they don't start in any systems. Those are the ones that the game gives you and prompts you, and as you keep continuing with things, they will just keep advancing. This is your main storyline path. These ones here that have the gold border around them, as you can see, they look a little differently. There's 3 of them right here. These ones you have to do to keep advancing your storyline, keep advancing your progression. There are things down the road that will require you to have completed some of these to get to, like unlocking deep space when you get to level 38 and things like that. If you're behind on your mission chain, that one won't be available to you yet. But some of these other ones here, you can see no gold border. They're just optional. The ones I tend to prioritize a lot of times are the ones with officer shards in them, because it's a good way to help get some of that stuff going. There's a couple in here that give blueprints for the baby jellyfish. You do not get enough blueprints to unlock the ship. You'll have to get the rest through an event store if you want the ship. But this is a pretty solid ship, and you can, if you get this, they would love to sell it to you. But if you happen to get this through an event store at the end of an arc, um, you can really carry yourself pretty much all the way uh, past a lot of the early ships, all the way into the early 20s. It's just going to be so much better than the Findra and the Turas, which they tend to cap out around like 25, 30,000 power. The Jellyfish can get up to like 70,000 power. So you're well ahead of all of that stuff. And then, you know, you can kill. I was killing hostiles on my other account up to as high as I think 28. With Pike, Moreau, Chen, and a Jellyfish, I was killing 28s pretty consistently. It also has pretty good warp range, obviously, to be able to get out to those systems where you can find level 28s. So there's a lot of opportunity here. And just a lot of details that new players, I feel like, should know about so they don't get stuck in buying stuff. As for things, if you wanted to buy stuff, I haven't even looked at the store yet. Let's go take a peek and see what's actually in there. So you've got this level 10 booster pack, huh? I got the level 10 for $5. They'll sell me some Latinum, some Syndicate XP, and a small amount of resources and materials. I get it, it's $5. It's a microtransaction. They're not really known for those. Most things in the game cost at least 20 bucks. Anything good usually costs 100 or more. Sometimes they take multiple $100 packs to unlock stuff. Just so you know. Would I buy some of these booster packs? Probably not, because I feel like from some of the other stuff you can get, plenty of things going on here. The Ferengi Treasure Bundle. Again, some more. Wow, okay. So for $10, you get the extra build token, which normally you buy separately for $5, plus you get a small amount of resources that you would probably use to do some building upgrades. That's at least reasonable value there. Second build queue for $5 is a meaningful purchase, right? Here's a $5 bundle. What's in here? Ferengi Fortune chips. That'll open up another little daily turn-in for you. That'll give you a small amount of resources. FaZe is asking, do I find starting again is easier knowing how the game works? Absolutely. First off, there's so many missions and stuff you don't have to read or skip over. And then again, knowing what officers and their abilities do, you know which ones to level up first, how certain officer combinations work, which officers to prioritize going after, which ones don't really have any use or a lot of long-term value, so you don't really invest into those. Yeah, so you see these a lot of $100 packs are showing up here. I don't know why anybody this level would buy any of these, but there's the second build queue for $5. So the fact that it comes over here in this little bundle for $10, you're getting the build queue plus additional resources. That one might not be such a bad idea if you are planning on playing the game long term. Having a second build queue does help out with that. There's also a second research queue here, which is a $20 value. This one you don't need as much early in the game, but it does have a lot of value later in the game. You'll start to get to the point where, you have access to a variety of research trees, and you'll want to have multiple things going at a time, especially when some of them take, 50, 100, 200 days. And you want to just have stuff queued up and running, waiting for an event so you can then turn in several of them at once. So that's kind of the skinny on where Star Trek Fleet Command is if you're starting an account in 2024 or at the end of 2024, or moving things forward or creating a brand new account. There's kind of a little synopsis as to what's going on there.